We're live here tonight for some NASCAR 05 Chase for the Cup action here today. And we are going to go short track racing at IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park here today for the Power Stroke Diesel 200. I was wondering what that was. That scared the heck out of me. It was the truck on the racetrack. Oh my goodness. It like echoed off of my phone because my phone volume was up too. Anyway, again, the Power Stroke Diesel 200 for the Truck Series, the Craftsman Truck Series. We have 11 races to go on the season championship right now. I should say 12. 11 after tonight's race. Currently, our driver, Carl Edwards, leads the point standings by 121 points over Travis Quaffle, but that is still within one race worth, so definitely got to get going here today. You never know what could happen. Trevor Grimes and Joey Logano fan, welcome to the stream. Welcome, everybody. Carl Edwards did qualify on the pole for tonight's race. Let's hop into this one real quick. Bill Lester starts outside pole in second. Green flag in the air. Carl Edwards leads him at IRP. Truck seems pretty stable, at least in qualifying. Didn't practice at all. Just kind of jumped right into it here tonight. Had a good week and a half since we played this game. Maybe a little over a week and a half now. See how this is going to work. It looks like Chad Chafin's going to jump into the second spot, passing Bill Lester off the initial start. Edwards slid the tires a little bit, turns 1 and 2, but he's able to lead the first couple laps of the race at least, and we'll see if he can pull away here in this one. Edwards has been the most dominant truck so far this season. He's also been the most winningest driver so far this season. We might have a NASCAR Heat 5 career mode episode tonight if we can get it in. The rain actually stayed away. It was raining when I went into work this morning. Hang on. Let's get a rhythm here first. Carl Edwards had a big power slide. That time it was in turns 3 and 4. The first time it was 1 and 2. And that time it was a lot more drastic. A lot of smoke coming out of the rear tires as well as he tried to save that racetrack. He did. He still got about a half a second lead. Seen these truck drivers be very, very aggressive all season long. A lot of bump and runs used on the other short tracks. We've been at Red Bull twice already this season. We saw a lot of it there. Martinsville as well earlier this year. Still got to make a trip to Bristol. Our first road course race of the season is coming up at Old Spice Speedway, one of the fantasy road course racetracks. It'll be the next race for the Craftsman Truck Series, and that will likely be later this week. It's definitely seemed like he's had the fastest truck on the short tracks, or at least the tracks that are less than a mile in length. And early on, he's out to 1 second lead. No major mistakes here so far. He did power slide quite a bit through turns 3 and 4 a few laps ago, but outside of that, he was able to make the save and drive right out of it. Just kind of overdrove the corner down to the apron. You can't do that on this game with the Truck Series. Really with the top 3 series. In general, the modifieds you can get away with it on some tracks, the other series not so much. 6 people watching already here today. Thanks for everybody tuning in on a Tuesday night. Edwards looking to dominate at least early on. Take it one step at a time. 200 laps is not a long time around this short track. IRP no longer on the schedule for any of the top 3 touring series in NASCAR, known as Indianapolis Raceway Park. The Xfinity Series and the Truck Series both ran there for a very long time, up until the really late 2010s. When Indianapolis scored a date with the Xfinity Series, the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that is, the one that we know of now on the Cup and Xfinity Series schedule, the oval configuration got put into the Xfinity Series, took away the date from Indianapolis Raceway Park, eliminated another short track off the schedule. We're racing here on this very racetrack tonight. 2-second lead now for Edwards, lap 13. He's led them all so far from the pole. Nobody's really pressured him at all yet either. Not sure when Travis Quaffle qualified. He wasn't within the first couple rows at least. And he's the driver Edwards is racing for the championship so far this season. Again, just 11 races left after the conclusion of the race here tonight. 2 more road courses yet. Watkins Glen and Old Spice Speedway. That could definitely make a difference in the championship running. That is for sure. Ethan, welcome to the stream. I love this game too, man. Always glad to see these older games back on the channel from time to time. And this is my personal favorite. My sentimental favorite. Indeed, Ethan. At least for EA Sports, it's definitely the game that has probably the most options that you can do gameplay-wise offline than any other NASCAR game. Introduced, obviously, the Chase for the Cup. It was the first year of NASCAR having the playoffs. So they had the Chase for the Cup format. They could run just the 10 races. And it's not like now where, yeah, you can customize your schedule for the playoffs however you want it in today's NASCAR games, but you can't pick the drivers you want in the playoffs, so you can actually pick the drivers you want for those 10 playoff spots, because at the time it was only 10 in 2004. It'd be pretty cool if you could do that in the next NASCAR game. I don't think it's so much that the only reason they prefer Heat 5 or any of the Heat games over, this game or any of the EA games, even that I play on the channel, is simply because it's not new. So if you're really, really young, you probably either have no idea what this game is, or you've never played it and really don't have a chance to play it. There's Farine, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having fun down in Orlando. How long are you staying down there again? I know you mentioned you made it there, what was it, last night, but I forget how long you said that you were going down there for. Alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today. Still no lap traffic. Edwards is just smooth sailing right now. Field's starting to space apart a little bit inside the top 10. This is about a 3/4 mile short track. A little less than 3/4 of a mile. It's about a 5/8 mile to be exact. Pretty flat, very little banking. Saw a crazy race on this very video game the last time we raced it before I left for Talladega. And we had the Busch Series race at Talladega. That was wild all the way down to the very end. See what this Truck Series race is going to bring here tonight. Edwards a little wide into turn 3, a minor mistake, but for the most part, still looking pretty good. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Indeed, on the PS2. Oh, whoa! Edwards hard into the wall off turn 2. He bobbled so much on corner entry, and here comes Bill Lester. Overdrove the corner, and that car just shot straight up the racetrack. Didn't take much, and Lester going to try that middle to upper groove. He almost slams into the wall off turn 2 as well. That was the best chance Lester's had to make the pass. Schneider had about just over a 2-second lead, and it was immediately vanished. It was a pretty hard lick. No safer barrier either in this game for most of these racetracks. Making the damage even worse. And the chance of survival with a big hit like that even worse. He got very lucky. He doesn't have as much damage as he probably should. It's enough to kind of slow him down now because Bill Lester's keeping pace. And that's what Lester needed, was Edwards to make that major mistake like he did right there. And he's right back in it, and Lester's got nobody behind him battling him for second place as well. Lester's entering into the corners a lot wider, and I almost wonder if that's just kind of cutting his time off, and that is where he's losing Edwards, because Edwards can drive it in deep, and he can stick the corner 9 times out of 10. So some sparks flying there. His car's bottoming out. Some of it might be the damage on the front, specifically the right front of the race car. I mean, he pancaked that wall pretty hard off turn 2 a handful of laps ago already. Staying for a week, gotcha. Yeah, when I go to Dover, I'll be leaving on a Saturday. So our last stream before I leave will be on a Friday night. And then I don't come back till Tuesday for that trip. But every other trip beyond that, except for Bristol the rest of the year, for the Bristol night race. Outside of that, every other trip I'm leaving on a Saturday, and I'll be back on a Monday. Well, I guess Pocono I have to leave on a Friday too, because they're racing Saturday and Sunday. So outside of Pocono and Bristol. But the rest of them, yeah, it'll just be 3-day trips. So should be able to stream usually that Monday coming back home. Schneider got sideways again, getting into the second turn. And Bill Lester's going to get underneath him. And they're side by side for the lead. Lester with the advantage on the inside. Now, oh, look at Lester getting sideways. Edwards tried to cross him back over, and he kind of got into the back of him. 5 bonus points for Bill Lester for leading that last lap, and he's got his first lead of the race. Seen everybody slide in turns 1 and 2. We even saw Lester slide on the bottom as well. At least Edwards was able to keep it off the wall that time. And he enters wide into turns 1 and 2. It allows Edwards to get back underneath him. This time he doesn't slide the tires and clears Lester on turn 2. Lester just about ends up in the wall himself again. Good battle for the lead going on here. Lap 37 at the line. Another lead change. Edwards back in front. Lester is able to lead for 2 laps. These guys are still nowhere near lap traffic. Welcome again, Trevor. EA Sports released best NASCAR game in history, but so far, man, I'm trying to read the comments section, guys. It's just really hard. I keep making mistakes when I'm looking down. Got to get in a rhythm here first. Try to drive away from Bill Lester. Not gonna wreck him. Why would I wreck him? He didn't make contact with us. He passed us clean when he got around us. We passed him clean. He didn't really block us hard either. It was a good, clean battle for the lead. And it's still going on. I mean, Edwards just can't pull him anymore like he did earlier in the race. He's definitely going to likely have to repair that damage. They're slapping the wall off turn 2. Already been probably about a dozen or more laps ago now. Laps go by quick here. This racetrack, we're almost a quarter of the way through the race. Still no cautions tonight. Caution-free to this point. We have had 2 caution-free races so far this season. It's been a while since the last one. Lester seems to be a little better in 3 and 4, and Edwards seems to be better than Lester in turns 1 and 2. Seems like Edwards can gap him off turn 2. And a little bit into turn 1, but pretty much all the way through 3 and 4, Lester gains that time back. Can't quite get back to the throttle as quick as Edwards, so some of that might be the dirtier air. When we get into lap traffic, it's going to cause Edwards' truck to maybe handle a lot different than what it's handled since he's been out in front pretty much the whole race. All but those 2 laps Lester led there a little bit ago. Almost got into marbles off turn 4, and he slides again into 1 and 2. Actually was able to keep the truck on the bottom and not allow Lester to get underneath him that time, but Lester definitely closes the gap. Now into 3 and 4. The corner Lester is a little bit better in, and he closes that gap again. Lester looks low into turn 1. Edwards with the block, and Lester overdrives the corner. He got really tight. Now he's in that middle to upper groove. Barely keeps it off the wall on turn 2, and he lost a couple of truck lengths there to cousin Carl. Slowly catching that lap traffic. I'm sure Edwards didn't make that mistake that even brought Lester back into this again. Lester was over 2 seconds back in the lead. He would have already hit lap traffic. At least Lester was able to get 5 bonus points for leading a couple laps, so that's big for him. He is still in the top 5 in points, although he's over a full race worth of points back from the points leader currently of Edwards anyway. Edwards has not DNF'd yet this season as well through the first 13 completed races. And he's only gotten in an accident in 3 races as well this year. He survived, which is impressive for this game, because you don't know, these EA Sports games are a lot harder to drive the car than what the NASCAR Heat games are. It's a lot more challenging. AI are a lot more difficult. Drivability of the race car or truck is a lot harder. Well, it can be hard on NASCAR Heat 5, but that's mainly because of the physics. That's not because of the actual game itself, usually, if it is hard. As far as the handling goes. Halfway on fuel, they're not quite at lap 50, and that could be interesting. This could be a 2 pit stop race for Carl Edwards. If it turns into fuel mileage, that could be huge, honestly. Lap 50 at the line now. He might be pacing to be about 2 to 4 laps short at the end of the race if he tries to only make it a 1 stop. He's going to try to take this tank as far as he can, but he may be hoping for a caution or 2 here tonight. None so far. And again, we've had a couple caution-free races in the Truck Series this season. Slowly gapping Lester again, but we'll see who's going to get through the lap traffic better. That could be a huge, huge difference maker in deciding who might be able to get out ahead and stay out ahead, at least in the first pit stops today. Our Mr. Clean Crew better do a better job also. 105 truck gives plenty of room to the bottom of the racetrack for Edwards to get underneath him. The first lap truck is just going to submit himself right now and tap out and give himself up and let the leader race by. Even early in the race. Quite surprised, honestly. Kenny Hall in the 135. Going to do the same. Run that middle to upper groove. So Edwards has gotten through the first 2 lap trucks pretty quickly. See if he can keep it up now with Wesley Schmidt. The 117. 7 people watching right now. Comment down below what your favorite NASCAR EA Sports game is. Again, I already mentioned very early, and pretty much every time we race this on this game, that this is my personal favorite one. One I played the most when I was younger and growing up. I don't know what your guys' favorite EA Sports NASCAR game is. Back when EA Sports was at its best, at least right around this period at least. Some of the later EA Sports games not quite as good. For what I've heard, I haven't played 08 or 09 before. I stopped at 07. And that wasn't too bad. I didn't think, at least. Oh, wow. Robbie Young got really sideways, drifted up the racetrack, and that's just going to make it easy for Edwards to try and get around him. Nice clean pass. Lap 60, he's lapped about 4 or 5 trucks already. But Chad Chafin's really slipped back in this one. He started up near the front. He got around Lester on the initial start as well, and I'm almost wondering if that's why Lester fell about 2 seconds. Dream? Favorites NASCAR 07. Yeah, that's probably second favorite for me. That was the NASCAR game on the PSP. Oh, trouble! Caution's out. First time today at lap 61. We will get a caution to bunch the field up. And it looks... Oh, wow! What happened there? Adam Bell in the 123 truck spun onto pit road to bring out the caution. I don't know if he was trying to hit the pits and locked it down late. I mean, he was going to be speeding going into the pit lane. That was very strange. Edwards is going to hit pit road from the lead. He's going to make sure he'll make it on 2 stops today and not even risk the 1, so that caution does pan out pretty well for him. Problem is everybody else stays out, which means he's going to restart at the tail end of the lead lap. It'll be 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel coming up here for the 99Z. Favorite is NASCAR Thunder 2003. Gotcha. Here goes the Mr. Clean crew. Getting their hands all grimy, though, because they don't wear any gloves. I still remember when the Jackman still fell over. Even with the Mr. Clean crew, and he has a smile on his face the whole time, and then he like rubs his face as if he had to fix his helmet because of that. Because I mean that's just what they do. You know, if they fall over, they try to fix their helmet, and he doesn't have a helmet on, so he just like basically rubbed his grimy hands over his face after holding the greasy jack. Green flag back in the air. Good times. Oh, Chafin just got blocked by the 119 of Wesley Schmidt on the restart. Chafin did get the free pass, by the way. We start back on the lead lap. 3 wide into the corner. Edwards on these 4 fresh Goodyears trying to take advantage. Oh, contact. More contact with Chafin. It's getting squeezed all over the place right now. Travis Quaffle leads, 5 bonus points for him. Remember, he's second in points behind Edwards coming into the race, 121 points back. Max amount of points you can score in a race is 190 if you lead the most laps and win. Points are strictly off your finishing position, and then bonus points for leading, 5 bonus points for leading 1 lap, and then 10 bonus points if you can lead the most. Edwards is being brave here, though. He's been taking a 3 wide when he can into the corners, and it got really sideways that time as he's on the apron all the way through 3 and 4. Trying to stay underneath the 192, and I think that was the 191 as well, and there's a stack up. Getting into the corner, Edwards had to jam the brakes, or he was going to get in the back of the 192. Looked like the 192 truck did run in the back of the 191 that time. They're stacking up again. 2x2 jam sandwich right now in the middle of the pack. Edwards finally able to get around the couple of Dodges that were sitting in front of him. Ooh, that was close. And they did make contact. That could have been an accident. do 07 gameplay too. I will when I get to that point eventually. Doing a season for every one of the EA sports. Well, not every one of them. I started with NASCAR Thunder 04. We went through that playthrough already. Now we're on 05, and I'm just going to kind of like work my way up the ladder. 06 will be next when we end up getting through what we need to get through with this. We were doing it more often, and then we started that career mode with NASCAR Heat 5. But there might be a little bit of time to fill if we can win the championship in the career mode in the first season every time. That we'll have, if the game comes out anywhere between, the next NASCAR game that is, comes out anywhere between mid-August on, then we'll have time to kill. We'll be doing all NASCAR 05 until the release of NASCAR 21. John Wood with the block in the center of the corner. He entered very wide in the corner, and I thought that Edwards was going to be able to get underneath his teammate. He does get under him now, though. I forgot Matt Crafton's arrival. It's been a while since we ran the Truck Series. Last time we did this, we did a Busch Series doubleheader. 3 wide into the corner. That's one way to get around a rival. Just keep him on the outside. And he clears both of them. Up to 9th already. Quaffle is pulling away, though. At least one other truck is following him as well. Edwards is still about 3 seconds, a little over 3 seconds off the race lead, but you can definitely see how much of an advantage fresh tires are, especially when it's 60-lap fresher tires. I mean, that was easily a wise decision there to pit. Surprised nobody else did. They're all definitely going to make, well, I wouldn't say definitely, but they got a better chance at making it on one stop. We'll bump and run there after Brandon Witt kind of crowded the 99 of Edwards. Thought about taking it 3 wide. Oh, man. Jack Sprague in the 16. Talk about crowding. He couldn't have forced that truck underneath him any lower. And then the truck that just passed him got a little sideways in 1 and 2. Opens the door for Edwards to get around both race trucks because that stacked up Sprague in the outside. Once the 163 moved up. Another run for Edwards into 1 and 2. Lap 80. A little contact. Desperate situation there for Baker in the 178. Lap 80, he's back to 3rd. Bill Luster's in 2nd. Race leader, again, is still Travis Quaffle. He's trying to lead as many laps as he can, just in case he can maybe lead the most. Yeah, and we'll still be, even when NASCAR 21 comes out, maybe when it initially comes out, like for the first couple weeks, they'll probably only do NASCAR 21, but then after a couple weeks pass by, we'll be doing at least one race of, you know, these classic games a week, again, just like we have been. So Adam Bell, I'm not sure if he DNF'd or not. I don't think he has. He could have. It's different with this game because they go to the garage if they DNF. Maybe not initially, but once the caution waves, they do. So you won't actually see him in the pit lane. Indeed, Ethan, tire strategy definitely being a huge difference maker. Lester got a little desperate there trying to block Edwards, but he wasn't clear. And Edwards going to clear him now into 1 and 2. Up to 2nd. Quaffle's going to try to fight for his life. 60 lap older tires is likely not going to have any chance here. Best thing that can happen now, we get another caution before Edwards can get around him. Ooh, man. Coughlin tried to take that wider arc into 1 and 2, and he got a little loose. Racetrack shaking around. Remember, he's on 85 lap older tires. He just got loose again in 3 and 4. Definitely doesn't have the grip in his tires that Edwards does, but then Edwards slides off 4, driving it in a little too deep. Wants to lead as many laps as possible. Gets the drive off turn 2 to the inside of Travis Kvapil, now into turn 3. Thought Kvapil was going to crowd him there. Didn't quite do it. Edwards is clear off turn 4. Another lead change at lap 88. So we've had 3 different leaders so far. 5 lead changes in the race as well. And Carl Edwards back out in front for the 3rd time today. Almost halfway home. Gradually pulling away now from Kvapil. Everybody still has to make 1 pit stop before the end of the race, at least 1. Edwards knows he can definitely make it on 1. As far as everybody else's window, we'll have to wait and see. They're going to be pitting right at about the halfway mark. Whoever can make it just past the halfway mark, they're going to be a lot better on fuel than the guys that are going to have to pit the earliest. We'll see if a caution comes out in the middle of green flag cycling. And this is where the strategy starts to differentiate even more, too, because if you're Carl Edwards, yes, you're leading the race, you have fresher tires now. But once those guys pit, then they're going to have roughly 40 lap fresher tires on you. So then what's the decision from there? You know, do you pit immediately, or do you let them take that advantage on fresh tires and then try to run him back down at the end with your own fresh tires? Because we saw what the difference was right there for Edwards himself. Got to hope for a quick pit stop too, get on and off pit road without speeding. That first pit stop Edwards made was under caution, so he hasn't had to make a green flag stop yet today. Nobody has. We'll be halfway in 5 laps. Edwards has pulled down to about a 2.5 lead over championship foe Travis Kvapil. And here come the first of drivers onto pit road at lap 97. See, like these guys pitting right now, they're going to be extremely close on fuel to the end. And they might have to pit again. Just, again, it makes you wonder why they stayed out, unless they were just hoping for another couple cautions. That's just way too risky, though. Especially when it took 60 laps to get the first one. It is a short track, though, so I guess cautions are more prevalent here. Oh, looks like we had somebody get into the wall in turns 3 and 4 recently. Some smoke all the way up there. We stay green, though, lap 99. And we've got more trucks coming in, so definitely going through green flag pit stops. Edwards has a bigger lead. There's even more smoke now in turns 3 and 4. There might be making contact trying to get into that pit lane. It's only wide enough to go literally one truck deep, so if you're side by side and you both got to get to pit road, it's just not going to happen. Remember at Red Bull, the last truck race that we had as well, there was a big crash down the back straightaway with the slower cars merging onto the track in front of the faster cars. Nowhere for Edwards to go. He got collected in it. And we have another caution trouble. Turns 3 and 4. Truck in the outside wall. That time it brings out a yellow right at the halfway mark. And this time it's the 16 of Jack Sprague. Same spot we saw Adam Bell go for a spin. It looked like he got turned almost. Maybe he got ran into from behind trying to get into the pit lane. That's very well possible. Well, now it's time for Edwards to pit for his second and hopefully final stop of the race, but this is going to put these guys on the border on making it to the end, and there are a lot of drivers that got trapped probably 2 laps down with pitting early, but a lot of the faster trucks were able to stay out, and they will all be on the same strategy. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel for the 99 after our second caution just past the halfway mark. Maxim Lebec, welcome to the stream. We're racing at IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. Track that used to be on the Truck and Xfinity Series schedules, no longer there. Track still runs and operates. I think they hold NASCAR modified races there, and Travis Quaffle wins the race off pit road. That's the 3rd time the Mr. Clean Crew has failed us, and I think this is the last race of the Mr. Clean Crew because they're not making some clean pit stops here. I mean, that's like the 2nd or 3rd one they've messed up already. I mean, they didn't mess that one up, but Quaffle wins the race off pit road. Looks like Bill Lester's actually a lap down. He was one of the faster trucks. He's trying to race his way back in the lead lap. Because remember, all the lap cars have to line up to the inside of the lead lap cars. Oh, Quaffle gets sideways on the outside groove in front of the 99 of Edwards. Bobby Hamilton Sr. moves up a lane in front of Edwards now as Quaffle continues to lead on the restart. Brandon went to the inside. Edwards still stuck on the top. Finally gets to the bottom under Bobby Hamilton. And underneath Brandon Witt, 3 wide into the corner. He's getting desperate. Witt's in the middle now. 3 wide for the lead off turn 2. Edwards is going to lead the lap at the line. Quaffle gets loose off turn 4 again. Edwards is barely clear. Maybe a little bit of contact, but he's out in front of the 24 again. He's still got a couple more lap trucks to get by. The 163 of McGee and the 22 of Bill Lester. Gets around Lester. Justin Sozio, welcome to the stream. McGee gets sideways. Quaffle still stuck on the outside groove. So 2 cautions today, both for spins in turn 3. Adam Bell spun onto pit road for the first caution at lap 60, and then at lap 102, we saw Jack Sprague spin going into turn 3. He hit the outside wall. He couldn't save it into the pit lane like Adam Bell did earlier. It almost looked like he might have got clipped by the 135 truck into the outside wall. I don't know if that was before the spin or after the spin exactly. Could have been trying to pit, got ran into from behind. It's very well possible. $90 to go this time by. Aaron McGee's still out in front. 4/10 of a second lead right now for Carl Edwards. Problem is we don't know who exactly is in second. There's a truck right behind us, but I don't think he is for position. But I don't know if it goes back to Bill Lester or not either, though. McGee's doing a good job with this clean air. Staying in front of Edwards. If we get a caution, he'll get back on the lead lap, so this is big. Now, the free pass is possible as well. McGee's getting sideways, though. He doesn't want the free pass. Plus, if he gets past, he loses the clean air. There might be a better chance that somebody else can get around him and take away that free pass spot. Now, just doing the truck series tonight, Justin. Oh, McGee tried that wider arc into the corner, got sideways after trying to avoid the 99 of Carl Edwards. Edwards will get around him in 3 and 4 and finally complete the pass. He's got about a 9/10 of a second lead over Quaffle. He's now got 2 lap trucks in between himself and race leader Carl Edwards. Likely going to catch lap traffic again before the end of the race if it goes green. But we have had 2 cautions already. We're just past halfway. We'll see how the rest of this thing plays out. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream as well. We might do a NASCAR Heat 5 career mode episode tonight at Richmond. I'm not 100% sure, though. might just save that. I mean, either way, if we don't get it tonight, we're going to get there tomorrow. It's really going to depend how late this race gets done with. I probably shouldn't have even said anything because we're probably not going to get there. I just really don't think we're going to have time. Yeah, we haven't done the Cup Series in a while. It's just hard on days I work to do any sort of Cup races. I mean, that's why on NASCAR Heat 5, the Cup races we do are, you know, on my days off. Mondays and Thursdays. And then we don't do it Sunday because of the actual Cup race. Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. The race is still on. Just got out of work. All right. Welcome on in. Just about 82 laps to go now. 1.7 second lead for Edwards. We just had a caution just less than 20 laps ago. Our second of the day after Jack Sprague went for a spin. Adam Bell spun earlier in the race at lap 60 as well. Edwards has led the most up to this point. He hasn't locked the most laps led in yet. Waffle was able to lead for about 20 to 30 laps in the race, and Bill Lester led a couple as well, but outside of that, Edwards should be pretty close to clinching the most laps led. I mean, he's probably led anywhere between 80 to 90 laps today. Once he gets to 100, he's definitely going to lead half the race. Easily locking it up. And he'll have himself a chance at a max points day if he can go to victory lane on top of it. But again, another race that Edwards runs well, but Travis Quaffel's been in second place for most of the day. That first restart really helped him, though, because he was able to catch up to Lester and get around him. I'm not sure where he restarted. I would assume probably second after Edwards pit. And Lester was in front of him, but he got around Bill Lester pretty quickly, too. Lap traffic on the restart probably played a factor because, again, all the lap cars line up to the inside of the lead lap race trucks. Except for if the caution comes in the final 10 laps of the race. If there's a restart with 10 or less laps to go, then all the lap down race trucks will have to restart behind the lead lap trucks. Because there are single file restarts at this period in NASCAR. The double file restarts didn't come into play until midway through the 2009 season. So these older game playthroughs, you're not going to be seeing any traditional double file restarts here for a while. Been 2 months since the Busch Series for NASCAR 05. No, it's not. We just did the Busch Series the last time we raced NASCAR 05. Yeah, we did a Busch Series doubleheader. Not last week. It was the week before. We missed last week. It was before I left for Talladega. I did a doubleheader. We ran Red Bull and then we ran Talladega for the Busch Series. I might not have updated the playlist. That could be part of the problem. Try to get on that when I remember. I think we ran Texas within the last few weeks too for the Busch Series. We just haven't done Cup in a while on the game. So there it is. Crew chief just alerted race leader Carl Edwards that he has now clinched the most laps led. So that'll be a 10 bonus point day for cousin Carl. See if he can seal the deal with the win. He's still got a 1.7 second lead. Almost seems like Quaffel's been kind of, I don't want to say gaining on him, but he might be gaining on him, honestly. As we get later and later into this race, he knows he's going to have to push a little bit harder. Especially knowing we have a while until the lap traffic. And never know, the cautions play out right. We might not get more lap traffic the rest of the race. So he's got to take advantage every opportunity he can. Edwards has definitely had the fastest race truck, though, all day long. Outside of that hiccup he had during that first tire stint of the day before the first yellow, where he hit the outside wall right around lap 30 off turn 2 for kind of just overdriving the corners, slid the tires on corner entry, slid up into the wall pretty hard. He hasn't made a mistake the rest of the day since. Yeah, it's down to about 1.6. It was about a 1.75 roughly second lead about 3 or 4 laps ago. It does seem like turns 3 and 4 is where Quaffle's gaining the most. And there's still a lap car. Aaron McGee is still in between the 24 and the 99. So Quaffle will have to get around him as quick as possible. He's not too far behind him. Honestly, I don't even know anymore what I like better or what I don't. I like both. I mean, I think that this is the best playoff format they've had, you know, since introducing them in 2004. I feel like it's more of a fair shot to the guys that have been dominating for most of the year. I mean, the only way it's not is simply the Championship 4 race. I mean, that's the only part of the playoffs that you would say that it doesn't really give the guy that's dominated the season the advantage. But outside of that, all their playoff points carry through the entire season, the entire playoffs, I should say. So, I mean, except for the last race. I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's nearly a perfect playoff system as far as how points are awarded and how they carry over. The win in your end obviously can be a little. The win round by round, I don't think is a bad idea, but the 16 in your end just. We've had instances before where we've had guys outside the top 16 outside the top 16 points win a race. Now Michael McDowell's holding his own this year. He's still 13th in points 11 races in, so good for him. He's proven everybody wrong that he was just going to fall all the way back to like outside top 20 in points quickly. He's still 13th after 11 races. 4 top 10s. Having a great year. Quaffle did get around Aaron McGee, and he is really, really closing in on Edwards. Edwards has had the fastest race truck all day, but Quaffle's starting to turn on the afterburners. He knows Edwards has led the most laps already. He doesn't want the points leader to get another max points day. 10-point differential as well between first and second place in points. So if Quaffle wins and Edwards finishes second, with the bonus points scored throughout as well, Quaffle would outscore Edwards by 5 points. Versus if Quaffle finishes second to Carl Edwards, Edwards will gain 15. So there's definitely a lot more to lose here for Travis Late. And it's down to 1 second lead flat. We still have 60 laps to go, and these guys aren't in lap traffic. Quaffle is definitely faster on the racetrack right now than what Carl Edwards is, and Edwards is the guy with the clean air. There's not really anything Edwards can do here, especially if Quaffle ends up catching him soon, because not really anything other than just hope that the lap traffic plays out in his favor. Now, he was getting through the lap traffic very well early in the race, so hopefully he can do it again coming up pretty soon. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time over about the next 4 laps or so. Again, unfortunately, there's no cockpit cam on this game. It's just the front bumper and the hood cam. Still 1 second even. At 1.2 now. Quaffle must have had a little bit of a slip up in turns 1 and 2 because he dropped 0.2 of a second in that corner alone. Very close to the final quarter of the race. Nearly 50 laps to go here tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Probably just the battle you wanted to see between the two championship leaders, running 1-2 once again. I mean, they've had to have finished 1-2. I remember there was a stretch they finished 1-2 like 5 races in a row, where Edwards won 3 in that 5-race stretch and Quaffle won 2 of them. Cardinals game rained out tonight. Tigers might as well have gotten rained out. Well, they were down 4-0 in the first inning. I saw they scored 2 back in the bottom half, so could have been worse. Gosh, we suck. Ooh, there's a slight mistake off turn 2. Edwards doesn't need that when Quaffle was already kind of gaining on him. He was stopping the bleeding there for about 10 laps. And he pulled back ahead by about 0.2 of a second. Those 0.2 of a second were just lost after that mistake off turn 2 the last lap. Right back down to about 1 second flat again. And they're at least 2 trucks, then we'll have another tiny gap before the bigger clump of lap traffic. Quaffle's down to 0.9 off turn 4, 50 laps to go for Cousin Carl. Fastest lap for Edwards so far is a 19.797. Currently 19.932. Remember, the caution came out with 99 laps to go. We have 49 to go at the time that Edwards hit halfway. I almost kind of forgot that this could be a fuel mileage race still. That caution came out at a very, very interesting spot, to say the least. Wesley Schmidt using the bumper up ahead. Oh, he uses it again. There's contact between the 2 lap cars not far in front of the leader, Edwards, who has been able to gap Quaffle about another 0.2 of a second again. It's out to 1.1 second lead. Robbie Young got moved not once but twice by the 117 truck. It gets around Robbie Young. Wesley Schmidt going to give Edwards plenty of room also. Ooh, Schmidt got a little tight getting into the corner, but luckily it was tight rather than loose and stayed off the 99 to his inside. 45 laps to go now. Oh yeah, that's right. 4 more match play. Yeah, but my league was just, it was stroke play. Well, it was not really matched. It wasn't like head to head. Well, kind of. It was weird. It's like it was based off like a point system. There were 32 teams in our league. It was a 2-man team, so it was my dad and I. You scored points by beating the other person, but it was based off handicap though. So unless you had the same handicap, you know, that was the only way it was match play. You win a hole, you get a point. You tie a hole, you get a half a point. So I guess it wasn't quite like match play, but it kind of sucked because like you were like for me, for instance, I think like a 4 handicap at the end of the year. So at that season, that was 2 years ago. I was probably down to like a 2 or 3 for 9 holes last year. This year, about the same as last year, honestly, so far. But anyway, so I was like a 4, and you'd be, you know, maybe playing somebody that was a 10, and there'd be a couple holes they'd have 1 to 2 strokes on you. So it's like, okay, this almost isn't fair. I mean, it is fair to a certain extent, but it just kind of sucked. It's like if I bogeyed a hole, I was hoping for them to triple, just to tie. I was pretty much in a box right there. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do, birdie every hole? I liked it because it was fun, but at the same time, it was like, it wasn't skewed for me, especially when I'm like not as consistent as I should be. Like, I'll go out for like a month and shoot very close to even par, and then like another month I'll be like 6 over consistently, figuring out like what the heck is going on lately. So I'm kind of streaky. So if I was like on a streak like that, I had no shot to score a lot of points. My league goes the same way. Gotcha. Since the lap traffic started, Quaffle isn't getting through it as quick as Carl Edwards. So Edwards is out to about a 1.5 lead again. Still time, 37 laps to go for Travis Quaffle. It's a good thing Edwards caught the lap traffic, honestly. It's helping him for now. So we start to get into the faster racetracks, might be a little bit harder. Really just hoping all these lap trucks hold their line as well. Last thing Edwards wants to see now is another caution. Especially since he's finally starting to pull back away from Quaffle for the first time since the last yellow. Out to a 2-second lead. There was some, like, I'm trying to think what, there was like a couple holes. I think there was usually like 2 holes that was closest to the pin and longest putt too that you can win money off of to play skins, but you didn't have to play skins. I usually did, just for the heck of it. I didn't feel like I lost or gained money. It was like one week I'd win like $10, the next week I wouldn't win any. I think it was like $5 to get in. I probably broke even by the end of the year, honestly. $14 handicap for 9 or 18? Yeah, because I guess technically for 18 that would have been last year probably about a 6 to 7, maybe 8. I choked away another chance at even par today on 9 holes. I played 18, but the back 9, I was even par into the final 2 holes, and then I bogeyed and double bogeyed the last 2 holes. It's like I look at my score and I just start to get nervous or something. I don't feel nervous. I just go up there, and then it just, like, for whatever reason, whatever I did in the first 6 or 7 holes before that, it just all goes to waste. I didn't birdie at all, though. That really hurt me. I didn't birdie on the front 9 at all yet today either. Still shot a 77, no birdies, but usually I can bank on getting like at least 1 to 2 every round. When I'm playing 18, I didn't get any today, so that kind of hurt. I was close quite a few times, and I think I still had like 11 green in regulations out of 18, so I was putting for birdie a lot. Oh boy, that was some pretty hard contact between the 101 and the 99. Accidental, of course. For the most part, it's got through the lap traffic pretty clean, pretty quickly. Almost a 3-second lead now on Travis Quaffle. It could still be a fuel mileage race to the end. 26 laps to go at the line. Edwards hasn't hit low fuel yet. So that's good. That would mean that he's got a quarter of a tank left. Really slid the tires under the 135. Stays on the outside now. 2 more lap trucks, and then there will be another gap before Carl Edwards will catch another lap truck. 25 to go. IRP. 9, gotcha. Yeah, I'm definitely one of the luckier ones that caught on to the game pretty quick. I mean, a lot of it was going out, you know, having a membership and going out to the course literally 6-7 days a week from the time I first started playing. Still even now, 6 years in. This would technically be my 6th season of golfing. It definitely pans out. I mean, over the course of like a 6-month roughly golf season, give or take, you know, sometimes it's like 6.5 to 7. Some years it's like 5, you know, depending on the weather. But just kind of sucks with all the rain we've been getting. Is like every day off I've had that it's easier for me to play golf. Like I still play after work, but having to hustle home to get to the stream and eat before I go to bed for work the next day. But my days off, it rains all the time. It rained again yesterday. And it rains like all day, so it's not like I can get out there in the window. 21 laps to go. When we hit 25 to go, Edwards hit low fuel. That means he had about a quarter of a tank left. 22 to 23 years for me. I do need to start playing more courses more often, too. So I have the membership, so it's hard for me to go anywhere. Well, it's not hard. It's just me being a cheapskate, not wanting to pay. About once a week, I try to go to a different course, but it ends up usually turning out to be once every other week. So really, I mean, ideally, it's only like 2 to 3 times a month I'm going to a different course. Anytime I travel to a NASCAR race, so I usually try to hit 1 or 2 different courses as well. Just trying to mix the game up. Largest lead of the day for anybody so far, and it's for Carl Edwards right now with 19 laps to go. He's got a 4-second lead. Waffle just simply has not gotten through the lap traffic well, and you wonder if anybody else might have been able to catch him for position with how much he's falling back. And there's no way to pull up a leaderboard. Just kind of assuming things. Slow truck on the inside has blown an engine. Looked like it might have been the 192. He is going to get the pit road out of the way. We stay green. 17 laps left now, and we'll see if Edwards can make it on fuel. And that's another thing that's good for Bill Lester. Or sorry, that's good for Travis Quaffle. I forgot Lester's a lap down. Or anybody on the lead lap, really. I mean, he's 4 seconds back. You got to assume he's saving fuel, not running as fast as Edwards right now. Edwards is just trying to get as many laps in as he can. We get a caution, he should make it. Without a caution, it's just going to be really close. He could still make it without a yellow. 15 laps left. Edwards has definitely lapped a lot of trucks, though. Three wide under Brandon Witt. Bill Lester about to go 2 laps down. Into turns 1 and 2. Edwards slides on the apron, still slides. Made a little contact with Brandon Witt. It's about a 4.5 second lead. Now it's under 4. It's about 3.8 now all of a sudden. So he lost about 7/10 of a second. Still got plenty of time back to Quaffle. Better than wrecking the race truck while leading this late, that's for sure. Or bringing out a caution, too. We stay green. Chris Sweeney is in the 192. Thanks for that. Did not know who was in the 192 truck. I was getting the hang of recognizing all the fantasy drivers in the series, but then I kind of forgot because we're not playing it as consistently as we were there during the NASCAR offseason. Well, 12 to go. They're coming to 11 to go this time, and now Edwards is on very low fuel as he just puts Bill Lester 2 laps down. Man, this is going to be really close. Remember, some guys pitted at lap 97. Well, they got the caution, but they mostly stayed out. I have to assume that not everybody's going to make it to the end. 10 laps left, though. We'll see who will. That was just a bad timing last caution. It was the whole reason Edwards pitted during the first caution of the race. So he can easily make it on one stop from there to the end. But then the caution came out right in the middle of green flag pit stops, and Edwards didn't make his yet. And it put him in the bubble again anyway, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered. He was able to get to the lead before that caution too, so it really didn't matter. If anything, it kind of hurt him because Travis Quaffle was able to lead some laps, get some bonus points. Now, he did beat Edwards off pit road during that next caution anyway, during the pit stops under that yellow, so I guess it might not have mattered there either. Overall, it really didn't change the race. Still kept it a fuel mileage kind of a race. And Edwards has to be committed to staying out to the end. He's got a 121-point lead coming into this race. It's still not huge, considering that Quaffle was the guy in second place for most of the day. So if he runs out of fuel, this is going to be huge. We get a green-white checker, this is going to be even worse. Go past that scheduled distance, there is a chance at one green-white checker finish at least. Loose off turn 2, going down to the apron. Still just over a 4-second lead. 5 laps to go at the line this time for Edwards. Oh no, this is not good. He might be short. 5 to go at the line. It is really early to be saying fuel tank's almost empty. By the time we went green, this is going to be about a 96-lap green flag run to the finish. Accidental contact with the truck to his outside. Still a 4.1 second lead. He hasn't been saving really at all during this run either. He's desperately just trying to get to the white flag. No cautions come out on the final lap of the race in this game, by the way. 3 to go at the line. Around the 5/8 mile racetrack at Indianapolis Raceway Park. And a fuel mileage race to the finish after the caution with 99 laps to go in the middle of green flag stops. I don't think Edwards is even going to consider trying to pass another race driver. Well, he might, I don't know. Right behind the 113, 2 to go at the line. He's going to get underneath them into the corner. Slides a little bit. He'll clear him off the exit of turn 2. Edwards is not committed to saving fuel right now. Into turns 3 and 4, he's definitely not going to try to pass his rival, Matt Crafton. 4.5 second lead, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go in Indianapolis Raceway Park. About half a mile now as they get into turn 1. Edwards on fumes, trying to make it to the finish. And now into 3 and 4, he can coast it from here with a 4.5 second lead. Checkered flag in the air on fumes. Carl Edwards is going to win at IRP. Didn't even really save fuel, but barely had enough to make it to the finish. And wins by about 4.5 seconds. On a 96-lap green flag run to the finish. Longest green flag run of the race to the end. 2 cautions total here today. And he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel on the victory celebration. I told you guys we didn't have much left in it. Got a chance to do about 3 circles in our donuts, and that was about it. The engine shut down. We are out of fuel. I forgot you could run out of fuel during the victory celebration. That was definitely close. A lot closer than what it needed to be. But he didn't save. He was very confident, and he tried to get as big of a lead as he could in case he ran out of fuel. And he ended up not running out of fuel until the victory celebration. Only 5 trucks finished on the lead lap today after that long green flag run to the finish. There's a look at the top 10. Carl Edwards with the win. Travis Quaffle 2nd. Doug Thompson 3rd. Ryan Carter 4th. Matt Crafton rounds out the top 5. Larry Watson 6th. Barry Wilder 7th. Hank Grigsby 8th. Andy Lyman 9th. And Aaron McGee rounds out the top 10. Take a look at who all DNF'd today. Edwards led 171 of the 200 laps. led the most. I believe we only had 3 different leaders. Quaffle and Lester led laps to get 5 bonus points themselves. There's Lester, he led 5. He ended up finishing 13th. Tough break for Bill. He got trapped a lap down during the green flag pit stop, so he went another lap down during that long green flag run. So Bradley, Adam Bell, we saw him crash lap 60. So he did not return from the race after that accident. Something must have broke on the race truck, and he was trying to get it to pit road, and he just couldn't do it without spinning. Richards and Sweeney DNF as well. So 4 drivers failed to finish this race here today. We'll take a look at the point standings real quick. I believe we only gained 15 points. If I do my math right on Quaffle. And the next race is at Old Spice Speedway. Man, 133 laps on a road course. That's pretty long. Cheese Wheel 200. It's a shorter road course, but still. Man, that's going to be a marathon the next time we race in the Truck Series on NASCAR 05. Yeah, only time I would want to run out of gas during the victory celebration too there. I prefer to not run out of gas at all, but sorry I couldn't put on too much of a smoke show for you guys today. Circumstances. Yep, 15 points gained, so I did my math right. Carl Edwards gains 15 on Travis Quaffle. Quaffle still within 1 race. And over a race back to 3rd place, Bobby Hamilton Sr. Aaron McGee at that top 10 is still 4th. Troy Perry 5th. And Bill Lester faded late in that race. Again, got trapped an extra lap down. That definitely sucked. And limited his chances to win because he was running top 3 the whole race too and led some laps as we saw. He's 6th still in points, and not far at least behind 5th, and really not all that far behind 4th either. And he's over 2 races back. Actually, over 3 races back. Over 600 points. And qualifying on the pole gave us our 6th pole award of the season. Currently lead this season in that as well. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content here tonight. I'm going to play it smart, and we are just going to hold off till tomorrow night to do the Richmond race for NASCAR Heat 5. Who knows, maybe I get home early enough and we could run both of them. There's actually a very good chance we could run both of them anyway tomorrow, Richmond, and then start the playoffs at Bristol on NASCAR Heat 5, simply because I won't have to work Thursday, so I won't have to worry about staying up till, say, 11 o'clock. Thanks for everybody watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Pretty much whenever I can get home again, with it being a work day, it's tough to decipher. Probably about 8:30 is likely what we're looking at. I wouldn't say any earlier than that, really. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll round out the regular season for the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode for the Xfinity Series.